Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeToLife.com and welcome to this quote of the week video, which should be seen as a really important reminder. So as you know, I'm releasing quite frequently videos on the law of assumption, Neville's teachings, manifesting, shifting states, imagination, consciousness, like all of these topics. And there's a lot, obviously, knowledge, right? There's a lot of information out there in this entire community. And if you zoom even more out in this entire self-help space and creating your own life like space. And, one thing that I figured out, you have all the techniques, you have all the methods, you have all these teachings, you have all these dots that you can start to connect. But one of the core teachings of Neville that sometimes people forget when they lose themselves in these teachings and think that, I have to find out this more and this more and this more, is that they don't follow the core principle and they forget the core teaching, which is imagining creates reality, which actually is phrased, it's not phrased wrong, but it can be phrased a little bit confusingly because you never create something, you just become aware of an already existing state. So imagining creates reality means whatever you imagine, that is basically what you start to make alive, and that is what is becoming your experience. That is how, in a really simple way, I can break it down. There's more to say about this. And Neville then came up with a really, really simple formula that we can use to manifest any goal. And I see most people, they do everything instead of these little 3 steps that I'm going to show you in this video, instead of following this little simple formula. So they study everything, but then they still lost. Okay, what should I do now? This is what you should do. This is Neville's core formula that we can use to manifest a desire. And so I want to explain that to you and show you how you can apply this for your own life. So all you need to do is know what you want. Construct a scene which would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Enter the scene and remain there. And that's it. You see, like everyone is expecting like a magic pill and all of that stuff, but that is how simple it can be, and that is always my main priority when I work with people is for them to keep it simple. And why should it be complicated? If we are literally the operant power, which we are, right? We are the operating power that is determining where we place our awareness on, and therefore what our life direction is going to be. If we are this operant power, then should it be hard to manifest a desire? Should we struggle? Should we work for it? Should we suffer for a desire? If every state already does exist and we are the operant power, choosing, deciding with this free will, because choosing where you place your awareness on basically is what free will means. Should we then suffer in this entire process? And the answer is definitely no, right? We suffer because we fall for the illusions, we fall for our thoughts and what our mind tells us and these seemingly set in stone circumstances. But actually, we can just follow these 3 steps, okay? So let me explain it to you. And again, always keep the premise in the back of your mind that imagining creates reality, that imagining comes first, and then the outer experience basically shows us the effect of that, shows us the byproduct, the echo of the imagined activity that we had alive within us. Meaning if I right now imagine that I, want to eat a pizza and I would really, sense that, then, I don't know what would happen, but maybe my, friend would invite me over and he would have prepared pizza, or maybe I would call my friend and ask him, hey, would you like to go out? And then we would end up eating a pizza. That is just to give you a little taste, if you're more new to this, how this works. But we imagine it first, and imagining is not visualization, by the way. But imagining is an imaginative experience. It can be through visualization, it can be through tasting, through touching, through hearing. You can use all your senses in your imagination, okay? So the first step, right, to make this as simple as possible when you want to manifest a goal is know what you want. And just ask yourself right now in this moment, what do I want? Why then, if there is no particular desire, then enjoy your life as it is. Don't think that there's always something that you're missing out on. Don't think that, there's always the latest shiny object that you need to search for. If right now everything is good, then enjoy it. Be present in the moment and go for your life. But if on the other side, you feel that there is a desire, right? There is a hunger within you that you keep carrying with you that is not expressed, that is not manifested yet, and you have this urge, you feel this desire within you, and you want to manifest that, then know that, right? Define what is that end. What do I want? So that is the first step, right? And some people lack clarity on what they actually want, which is also something that I help people with in my program if you feel that this, speaks to you. So that's the first step, know what you want, right? And then the second step is construct a scene which would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Here comes the crucial difference, right? Many people, they imagine their desire. They imagine that they have it. They imagine the person that's involved, the object that's involved, and they imagine the desire. This is not what Neville taught. He imagined something that implies you are already living the desire. This is already a natural part of your life. So, to give you an example, instead of imagining the money on your bank account, why not imagining that you're giving any random cashier your credit card or your card, and don't at all worry about, how much it is cost. So you can imagine, handing someone your card and being absolutely indifferent about the cost, because that could imply to you that you are financially stable. So then you will start to identify with the life of the version of you that has the goal, instead of imagining the moment. Because if you imagine the moment of the desire, let's say, well, you get X, Y, and Z, where you have X, Y, and Z, then this can very quickly go towards the direction of thinking of it and still desiring it and still thinking about it, instead of already being identified with it. So don't imagine that desire, but imagine something that implies the fulfillment. If you want to increase your business, then, don't imagine 5 clients coming in, but what would imply to you that, your business is thriving. Would maybe someone congratulate you, or would you have a conversation with your tax manager, with your tax consultant, and they would tell you, hey, like, we really have to look for your numbers. Like, they're going through the roof. Like, if you keep going with that, then, we maybe would have to get you like another manager or whatever it is, because your business is crushing it, right? You can imagine such a conversation that implies that whatever needed to happen for your business to be successful already is successful, instead of you imagining getting 2 new clients, but then still worrying about, okay, but how will I on the long term be successful? I'm sure you get the subtle difference, which makes the difference, right? This small difference makes all the difference. So now we covered the first 2 steps. We know what we want. We define that. We want X, Y, and Z. This is my desire. This is my hunger. And don't judge yourself for it. Don't question why you have it. Just accept it. You have this desire. Then you ask yourself, okay, what would imply I have it? And if you have difficulties with that, then you can also say you choose your day after event. So that is basically, you say that, what if right now you are your desired self? You have what you want to have. This is right now present in your life as we speak. You right now just assume this is right now in my life. Then what would be different tomorrow? What would be different in a week from now? And by doing that, you will see that some scenes will come up. If you right now you have your goal, then how would your family, next time you see them, how would they approach you? What would they say to you? What would your spouse or any partner say to you? What would your friends say to you if you are already this desired version, right? You will see what comes up, but choose your day after event. Assume that you are right now, you have it right now, and then ask yourself, okay, what would be different tomorrow or in a week from now to have these potential scenes that imply fulfillment of the desire? And then the third and final step is we enter the scene and remain there. So what does that mean exactly, or translate it into an easier language? That means we experience that. We don't think about it or daydream about it. No, we sit down, we close our eyes, and everyone can do this because we all have imagination. We all, in a deeper essence, are pure imagination, but that's a whole nother topic. But you can close your eyes and you can imagine the wish fulfilled. No one of you can tell me that you can't imagine your desire being fulfilled, that you can't hear a congratulation from a friend, from a family, can't see a certain scene, can't feel something in your imagination. You can do that because imagination is with you and enables you to experience anything that you desire, and everything that you desire does exist. So you close your eyes, you imagine the scene that implies fulfillment, but not from the premise of you imagining that to get something, because that would then still mean you wait, and the mirror will not show you your desires if you are in a state of waiting. So you imagine it for the sake of joy, for the sake of excitement, for the sake of having this joyful, fun, and great, and satisfying experience of the end right here, right now. And you remember that your imagination is real. Yes, I know it's a bold statement. I know in society's conditioning, it totally got lost. But what you experience in your imagination is already an existing reality. It is a fact. It is existing. It is there waiting for you patiently to be animated, to be occupied. So you imagine it not to get something, but to experience the fulfillment here and now. And what this will do is it will help you like automatically decrease the attachment of like for it and waiting for it and hoping for it and looking for signs and asking, when is my manifestation coming? How can you ask when the manifestation is coming when you live in the wish fulfilled? So by you experiencing that, maybe one time, maybe 10 times, maybe 100 times, that is totally, unique for each desire. It will become so natural and so certain to you that you keep carrying this new state with you. You know what is true for you because you know it from experience. You had this imaginative experience where a friend gave you confirmation on something, where your parents congratulated you on something, where you touched something that implied you now are this version of yourself that you want to be. And then this subtle knowing is created. Then you are in the desired state. And this state is then reflected back from your life. And now if we break it all down, really these are the 3 simple steps that we have to do, right? We have a new desire. So we ask, okay, what do I want? We construct a little scene that implies fulfillment and we imagine that. So although this was a really long explanation for me right now, this can happen super easily and super quickly. And you can apply this in your everyday life. So you want the package to arrive earlier, or you have a friend that you haven't seen for a really long time, or you want to test a lot with the ladder exercise and other things, then you sit down, you imagine that you do this, and you then don't come out of this experience and wait and look for it. No. You just had the experience. That was it. What you will see in this world is the effect, is the side effect, is the consequence on the wish fulfilled that happened within. And that is the deep truth. I have a video which is called "The Manifestation is the Consequence of the Wish Fulfilled, Not the Cause." I will link this above right now. If you get this, you basically also get manifesting, because again, the manifestation is the side effect, the shadow, the echo, the byproduct, but the wish fulfilled happens within you. That was the real experience that you had right now. Congratulations, it is done. And if you really know this, then you will stop seeking, stop looking for it, because you will feel fulfilled, deeply fulfilled within. You know it is within you, you know it is done, and then it can reflect effortlessly in the external circumstances, in the mirror of this life, right? So know what you want, right? Define your end. Ask yourself, what would imply in my life that it is true? What would be different in my day-to-day life? How would I wake up in the morning if it would be already true? How would I drink my daily tea or water? Or how would my friends speak to me, my family, right? What would change if I would right now have it? What would imply it? Not the moment when I get it and when it is there, but life after it, right? So you start to identify with the version of you that lives the life of that already, which is way more easier to make it more natural. And then you enter the scene. You close your eyes, you sit down, you lay down, and you just experience it really relaxed, like you would watch a movie. You would not expect anything from it. You would just watch it, enjoy it, and that is the right approach. And you can test that, prove it, try to prove it wrong, which does not work, and you will see the results from that, right? The state that you desire, because when you decide that is what I want, that is basically a state that you just defined. That is a state. I want to be financially successful. Okay, that's a state, financial stability. That's a state of consciousness where you are identified with being financially stable. So if you know that, then what would imply that you are? You would maybe, go shopping differently. When you're in a supermarket, you would stop comparing prices. You would maybe book a vacation online that you now can afford because previously you couldn't afford it. You would just imagine booking that and not worrying about the price. Whatever it is that implies you are living right now this desired version of your life, and then you experience it, right? That is a really easy way to manifest a desire. And if you want to learn more about this, definitely check out the free masterclass, which is the first link in the video description, where I will give you a broader picture point of view on how this works, what is essential that you should have in place to master manifesting, to get better at it, to consciously manifest your goals. And if you want to work with me to integrate these teachings in your life, then check out the second link in the video description, where you can apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with Upgrade to Life, where we're going to figure out if we are a good fit, and, you know, are going to help you, going to show you maybe your stumbling blocks right now, and then going to see, you know, if we want to team up and work together in my program. And that's it for the video. So the core message is keep it simple. That's the core message, right? Keep it simple. When you overcomplicate it, when you feel like work, when you feel like struggle and effort, you should ask yourself, are you approaching it the right way? Or are you like trying to define your desire too much and, you know, work too much on the details and get tripped up on all the details instead of going straight to the end? Keep it simple. Apply these 3 steps, test them, you will see that they work. I look forward to your questions and insights and feedback in the comments down below. And I speak to you next time. Bye guys.